Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be unboxing the HG Build Divers Ogre GN-X. This is a very interesting mix of like a GN-X 4 mixed with parts of like an aged Titus, and it's quite unique. It's quite interesting. I like it. There's definitely some aspects of the design that I like and some that I don't really like quite as much. So we'll see how the kit all comes together. I think overall it'll make for a pretty cool, interesting looking mobile suit. First thing though, in my own personal opinion, I don't really like this color scheme. I think I'll definitely probably prefer the mobile suit in a much different color scheme later on down the line. But I think it's probably a very intentional color scheme to be all very dark like this. It really reminds me of like the Dark Matter Exia. It's a very similar color scheme and just kind of overall look to that mobile suit. But anyway, some pretty cool striking box art there in the front with these big, huge beam, whatever those called, beam GN Ogre sword. I actually really like the look of those weapons, and that's one thing I'm definitely looking forward to checking out with this kit. So as always, a huge thank you to US Gundam Store for sponsoring this review, guys. Do check out the link to their site down below and use my coupon code there, save 10%. This kit is number 5 in the line, or 6 if you want to count it correctly. So yeah, there's those big things, the GN swords there. They can be held separately, or you can connect them together, as you can see here. There's a little bit about the head. It's very, very like menacing, evil sort of looking head. I haven't seen this in the anime, but I'm guessing this is supposed to be a bad antagonist character. Yeah, it's cool how they've worked in all the little beam bits here for the GN beam shoulder tackle and the GN needle straight there on the hands from the Age 1 Titus. There's a little few other kits in the line. And then back around here onto the other side, we have a look at how the kit is just going to look just front and back, painted up, and all that with the swords just attached onto there to the back skirt. A little bit more information here talking about how it's themed after a Japanese ogre motif. Okay, that makes sense. It does sort of look very Japanese demon in just the colors and overall styling of that. So 2,000 yen for the price tag for this. That seems probably about right. The box does seem pretty full. It's a pretty good sized HG box. And those where we are going to have a lot of clear parts and everything in there. So here's the sticker sheet, which looks relatively minimal, so that's good. It looks very similar to the Jinx 4. So yeah, I think it's going to have definitely some parts of that in here, but definitely some new parts in here as well. So it'll be interesting to see which of these runners are coming from the Jinx 4, which are coming from the Age 1 Titus. Yeah, there's all of those effect parts. Obviously from the Age kit. Some parts here from the Jinx 4. I'm sure after building that kit not too long ago, I can definitely recognize some of those parts there. Let's just get down here into the manual. We have, of course, the box art there at the top, and on the bottom, a little bit about here, the mobile suit and the pilot. The pilot, who also seems to be named simply Ogre. Okay, so there's a little bit of information there about that mobile suit, the pilot, and free battle system there. On the back here, the customized plan, just showing the same kind of stuff we saw on the outside of the box, but with some more detail there in Japanese and English if you want to read through that. One thing that I know from building a few different versions of the HG GN-X is that the articulation of that kit is not that great. So we'll see if this kit is able to improve on any of the weak articulation of the base kit. We'll just have to find out. So here, once again, just showing some other kits in the line, and also showing a mixing build using some of the parts there from the Striker GN-X with that, so that's pretty cool. It makes sense. If you guys haven't watched our last episode of G-Check with Josh and I, we talked about the mixing build, as that seems to be something that's catching on in Japan, apparently, it means kit bash, but in Japan they're calling it mixing build. Anyway, color guide here at the bottom, in there in Japanese and English, as always. Well, I shouldn't say as always, basically just for the past about year and a half or so, I guess. Anyway, here's our parts list. As you can see, a lot of crossed-off parts there, so all parts that are left over from previous kits, we will have a handful of those for sure. Construction is going to go from the body to the head to the arms, left arm, right arm, and then the legs, left leg, right leg. And then back around to the color pages, we have the waist here, and then the weapons, which are obviously going to be relatively simple. It's just 1, 2, 3 pieces there, it looks like, for that, and then just how to mount that, how to connect that into the hand, how to connect those together, how to connect them onto the back skirt, and then how to input all the little beam effect parts in here on the arms, hands, and the shoulders. Okay, so here's the foil sticker sheet. Obviously, sticker there for the eyes, inside the GN drive in the chest, and then a couple of these stickers here, probably going on top of the hands or something like that. and then these other little stickers there, or maybe those go on top of the hands, or maybe on the side of the head or something. Anyway, all these little gray stickers, very familiar if you've seen my reviews of the GN-X 4 or the Accelerate GN-X. They're all using the same kind of stickers there around the GN drive on the back. These red ones there, not sure where those are going on the kit, but those are a few new ones on here. PC123 here in standard gray for our polycap runner. And then we're skipping runners A and B and going right to C. So this is a runner directly from the original GN-X HG kits. So you'll see some of the very familiar parts of that on here. And so this runner is in that kind of light tan color that we often have been seeing that in. Runner D is interesting. It's a 3-color runner here, one little part there in white, and then some parts in that dark purple color, and then that dark red color there. This runner is actually from the Accelerate GN-X, so it says there for the runner marking Accelerate Jinx. And the runner E here as well, also from the Accelerate Jinx, interestingly enough, and we've got 2 of this E runner. As for the G runner though, this is obviously from the HG Age 1 Titus. Now, come to think of it, this is, I think, maybe the first time, at least that I've noticed, where one of these build fighters or build divers kits, I mean, it's very often, it's pretty common that they're using parts or runners from older kits. That's, you know, pretty common knowledge. But to my knowledge, this is the first time that we've had a mix of runners from 2 completely different lines, the HG Age line and the HG00 line. I think this is the first time that I've seen that. Then we've got runner I1 here, which is back to that dark red color, and this runner is completely new for the kit. And then we have runner I2 there as well. Runner J1 here, back to that dark purple color, and this is once again a completely new runner for this kit. So this kit definitely is going to have a fair amount of new parts in there, which is always nice. Then we've got runner J2 as well, which is a copy of this section of the runner here. And then we've got runner K1, which is back to that same kind of inner frame runner color here for the hand parts, the weapons parts on there. And then we've also got runner K2, which is a copy of those parts. And last but not least, we've got runner L1, which is in a really nice clear orange color. This looks really cool. These are really nice. And this is definitely a hard plastic. It's not soft like Beam Saber Effect part plastic, so keep that in mind. And then we've got runner L2 as well, which is our clear purple parts there for the eyes, or for like the head, and then for the GN condenser there, GN drive on the front, GN drive, GN condenser. So there you have it. It's certainly a fair amount of stuff in there, and it looks like a pretty cool mix of old and new. It's really probably like 50% or even maybe even less than 50% of reused parts in there. And then as we saw in the runner manual, on those reused runners had a lot of X's on there, so a lot of parts that we won't actually use for this. So more than half, so that makes it the majority of this kit, is actually new. That's always nice. So looks pretty cool. I'm actually quite excited about it, even though I'm still not really too into that color scheme. I think it'll make for a pretty cool looking mobile suit. Anyway, we'll see you in the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other further questions or comments, as always guys, feel free to leave those down below. Again, thank you to USA Gundam Store, and I'll see you guys in the review coming up next. Bye bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.